Hey guys, Mr. Riz here. I'm going to help you out with the second part of the 2.5 notes. So today what we're going to do is to learn another process or build up our process of completing the squared. So remember the squared trinomial or square expression works out whenever this middle number or the last number here is the middle number cut in half squared. So this would have been great if this was x squared plus 8x plus 16. Because 16 would be 8 divided by 4 is, or 8 divided by 2 is 4, 4 squared is 16, but it's not. But that doesn't mean we can stop there. What we can do is to use a little trick here is what we're going to do is let's move this 5 over to the other side and get a minus 5 here, and then go through and put in our magic number. Well, that magic number here, which remember is the middle number cut in half squared, if I add it here, mathematically speaking, I need to add it to the other side to be equivalent. So that magic number here, 16, is now in its proper space. I can write this expression as x plus 4 squared, and then equals, over here I have that negative 5 and the 16, that makes 11. And we can go through and just solve that expression like we do the shortcut. We could take the square root of the expression. We didn't get done here. Oh, nope, I don't want to use those tools. Sorry, I'm getting my tools mixed up here. All right, we could, if I wanted to solve this, we could say x plus 4 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 11, which doesn't come out nice, and just say x would equal negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 11. So let's go through these problems here and see if we can rewrite them, and then we're going to try to solve as well. Hey, there's the class bell. Okay, so let's look at this problem here. This would have been great. I did the same thing again with my tools. I'm looking at the wrong toolbar. This would have been great if this was x squared minus, okay, 6 divided by 2 is 3. That's not, 3 squared is not 9. Okay, so let's move this around to make our life better. So x squared minus 6x, let's add the 11 over. And I'm going to put a plus a blank here. Now, if I add a blank here, I'm going to have to add a blank here. So let's find this magic number. This magic number that goes in the middle is the middle number cut in half, 3, and then 3 squared is 9. So that's going to be the magic number we're going to use. So on the right side, I get 19. On the other side here, I can factor this out or square the term by using the shortcut here. X squared, minus sign in the middle, 9, the square root of 9 is 3. So here's the expression written in the term. Let's go on solving this now. So if I wanted to solve this, all we need to do here is to take the square root of both sides. And I get x minus 3 equals plus or minus the square root of 19. And so I can then just get x equals, add the 3 over, 3 plus or minus the square root of 19. So there's the answer there. So let's keep this pattern going, do some more, get some better practice at this, and feel confident with our work. Okay, so this can work too if we get imaginary numbers as well. We just got to keep in mind that if we have a negative, we're going to put an I in front. So we'll do these two problems here, and then we will probably look at the CYU for some help. All righty, here we go. All right, so this is just kind of written a little bit different here. Let's see, do we have the magic number? 4 divided by 2 is 2, 2 squared is, okay, so that's not a 4. So we got to move this 8 over to the other side. And in fact, you know what? I'm going to just switch this whole thing around. I'm going to put x squared plus 4x plus blank equals the negative 8 on the other side plus blank. So this magic number here, let's see, 4 divided by 2 is 2, 2 squared is 4. That would have been the perfect combination. So I'll put a 4 on this side and a 4 on that side. So this becomes an x, square root of x squared is x. There's a plus sign in the middle. I'm going to put a plus sign in the middle. And the square root of 4 is 2. And then negative 8 plus 4 is a negative 4. Okay, so next thing to do to solve this, we need to take the square root of both sides. So I get x plus 2 equals plus or minus the square root of negative 4. So what we haven't done yet, and which we're going to do now, is just simplify this expression. All right, what would be the square root of -4? Well, I know the square root of 4 is 2. Since it's -4, it becomes 2i. So that means our final answer here is that x is going to equal, I can minus this 2 over in front of here, -2 plus or minus 2i. All right, let's do this next problem. We'll look at the CYU to see if we need any more additional practice here. So this works out the best if this middle number, or last number here, is the middle number cut in half, 4, and then squared 16. So not quite, that's 17. So we got to move it over to the other side. So we get x squared minus 8x plus blank. We're going to figure out that magic number equals, I'll move 17 over to the other side, -17 plus a blank. So what goes in this blank is the middle number, which is be cut in half, 4, and then square it. So that'd be 16. That would have been the best combination there. 16. So we would get a expression that's going to be equal to -1 here. To figure out what goes inside of this, okay, the square root of x is x, minus sign in the middle, minus sign in the middle, square root of 16 is 4. So there's our expression here. To solve this, we're going to take the square root of both sides. So x minus 4 is equal to plus or minus the square root of -1. So simplifying this, we know that the square root of -1 is I. So this is plus or minus I. And all we need to do at the end is to add that 4 over, put it in front of there because it's the real term. So x equals 4 plus or minus 1i. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the CYU problems to see if you guys need some help understanding the work here. All right, so you guys are going to do, whoa, you can't see any of that. All right, these problems here. All right, let's see if we got any scary ones. Okay, I already see. All right, you guys should be okay with the first two. Maybe we'll do 2 and 3 together. So it should be all right. So 2 here, I'm going to do it because we got this weird radical symbol here. All right, so let's see. All right, this middle number here, 2 divided by 2 is 1 squared. Okay, it'd be better if that was 1, so we got to move that over. So this should be x squared plus 2x plus blank equals 7 plus blank. That middle number here would cut in half is 1, 1 squared is 1. So that is the magic number we're putting on both sides. So 7 plus 1 is 8. I know it's going to be 8 over here. What's going to go in here? The square root of x squared is x. Plus sign in the middle. So the plus sign in the middle, and the square root of 1 is 1. So if we're going to try to solve this, we're going to go ahead and square root both sides. We get x plus 1 equals plus or minus the square root of 8. Now 8 isn't negative, so we don't worry about I, but we can break 8 out of jail. 4 and 2 multiply to get 8, 2 and 2. So we can have a 2 break outside of the jail, and a 2 stays in. So this becomes plus or minus 2 radical 2. And all we need to do is put the negative, or put the 1 in front by subtracting it. So this should be a -1 plus or minus 2 radical 2. Try one more problem. Here we go. All right, if we look at this problem that we haven't had yet. So part of the problem is we have this -x squared. So if we have this -x squared, what we need to do is move that over to the other side, and I've moved everything over to the other side and rewrite it. Or basically, I'm going to divide everything by -1. So this is going to become an x squared plus, or not plus, I said it and I just didn't do it, minus 6x minus 10 equals 0. All right, so a good quadratic strategy, make it equal to 1, but let's make it a regular x squared. All right, so if I take 6, cut in half is 3, 3 squared is 9, so that doesn't work out. So now we got to do another step. I'm going to have to move it over. So we get an x squared minus 6x plus blank equals 10 plus a blank. Okay, so let's figure out that magic number here. If I take 6, cut in half is 3, 3 squared is 9, so the magic number is 9. So this is going to be something squared plus 19. So that's something x squared, square root of x squared is x, minus sign in the middle, minus in the middle. Square root of 9 is 3. So let's take the square root of both sides to start to solve. So we get x minus 3 equals plus or minus radical 19. 19 doesn't break down at all, so we're just going to move the 3 in front of it. So it'd be 3 plus or minus the square root of 19. All right, guys, I think you'll be all right finishing the other 2 assignments on your own. If you have any questions, reach out and ask, but I think you guys will do all right. One more section of this. All right, see you guys tomorrow.